September 16th, 1928. We have some breaking news. Who is in charge of a Wall Street bombing? We don't know. Authorities have looked everywhere and we don't know who is in charge for it. Whoever is in charge should be held accountable and should be pinched immediately. The attack happened at 12:01 p.m. on the main drag of Wall Street. Witnesses say they saw a man come up in a very heavy wagon in front of JP Morgan Bank. Quickly, the man in the heavy wagon disappeared into the crowd. He wasn't seen anywhere after that. Nobody knows who or where the man went. Moments later, the wagon exploded into thousands of metal pieces, causing 30 fatalities and 300 injuries. After the explosion, a huge crowd of people grouped up around the bank in the street. People were in shock to see what happened. Witnesses talked about how metal fragments went all over the place. Windows on the City Hall, which was right next to the explosion, the windows were shattered into pieces. Police and the FBI have suspicions who it could be. Based on previous bomb attacks from the previous decade, the Bureau initially suspected the father was Italian architect Luigi Gallen, but they cannot fully prove that it was the Italian group. The NYPD were able to recreate the bomb and the fuse that was used in the attack, but there was much debate about the nature of the explosive and all the potential components that were commonly available at the time. A cleaning crew was sent. The cleaning crew cleaned up Wall Street during the night and had it finished by day. Wall Street is already back in business within a day. In other words, we send it to case to talk about crime organization in the cities you live in.
Organized crime is a deadly thing in this day and age. Gangsters run underground businesses and are able to dominate the city. People like Al Capone and Charles Luciano are big mobsters in New York and Chicago, basically run the organized crime business. Criminals getting an absurd amount of money and are turning more into businessmen as their sales and money increase. You could say business is booming, especially for Al Capone. Even though a lot of prohibition is in place, Capone is thriving more than ever. He's making around $100 million a year, and just by selling Giga water. There's a high demand for illegal alcohol, so Capone took the opportunity to sell those illegal beverages and make a business out of it. Another crime boss that runs the illegal alcohol business is Charles Lucky Luciano. He gets his name from when he was kidnapped by another rival gang, and he's stabbed and beaten and left for dead on the beach. Luciano managed to stay alive on the beach when a cop saved him. Luciano made a big impact on New York illegal alcohol business. He has brought together Jewish and Italian mobsters. The booze are getting mostly imported from Canada by the Great Lakes. Nobody really knows how to stop the import of this alcohol. These mobsters are hep fellers. They set up business for alcohol. Even Gin Mills can keep their speakeasies afloat. The next story today comes from the first non-stop transatlantic flight.
Charles Lindbergh was born February 4th, 1902 in Detroit, Michigan. After graduating from high school in 1918, Lindbergh attended an engineering degree in the University of Wisconsin, but ended up dropping out in 1920 to attend Nebraska Aircraft Corporation Aviation School in Lincoln, Nebraska. After graduating, he took a job being an airmail pilot at age 24. During his career as an airmail pilot, Lindbergh heard of the Orteig Prize, which was a sum of $25,000 that was going to be given to the first person to complete a non-stop solo transatlantic flight. This challenge caught Lindbergh's attention, and so he left his job as a pilot to attempt the challenge that 6 people had already died attempting. With the $15,000 Lindbergh got from his sponsor, the St. Louis Chamber of Commerce, he set off to California to design and build an aircraft that would make his flight across the Atlantic. At 7:52, May 20th, 1927, Lindbergh took off from Roosevelt Field on Long Island. 33 and a half hours later, Lindbergh landed in Le Bourget Field near Paris, where a whopping 150,000 people waited for him. After his flight, Lindbergh became an instant celebrity and gained a ton of wealth. Even Calvin Coolidge was keen on seeing him. The flight Lindbergh completed proved that flying could be more than a hobby and could be a true source of transportation around the world. All in all, Lindbergh was an extraordinary pilot, especially considering the Wright brothers had only completed their first 12-second flight 16 years earlier. He played a major role in history, and many people thought he was the big cheese. Next up, we have a story on automobiles.
The new world of automobility. The 1920s were truly a time of change for lots of things. One of those things were automobiles. They are motorized vehicles that get you from point A to point B a lot faster than walking. Automobiles provide opportunities for people, such as having a job that isn't close to where you live. With an automobile, it's easy. People don't need to rely on horses all the time now either. Automobiles slowly started becoming more and more popular throughout the years. Automobiles were also becoming better overall with people like Henry Ford who wanted to improve upon them. Companies also wanted to compete to have the best automobiles so that they could make more money. Automobiles were also cheaper due to the assembly line. People, especially younger people, gained more freedom with automobiles. They were able to go places and do more stuff because of them. The economy also began to rise, which is good because America needed more paved roads because of all the automobiles. They also needed places like gas stations for people who wanted to travel long distance. Overall, the biggest impact was the rise in the economy. Automobiles provided way more jobs and job opportunities. People were able to work more and make more money, and business owners had more workers, which was really good for the economy and allowed for more urbanization in America. Some people are not all for urbanization, but I think that's baloney. But that is all for today. I hope everyone has a good day, and remember to lay off of the gigawatt.
And now a word from our sponsor.
All right, this is the 1927 Hyper Accurate Golf Club. Hear that? Hear that? Made out of metal. But it's, see that accurate on the wall? See that square? This golf club right here, made out of oak and birch wood, is gonna make this ball hit that target. No problem. All right, let me take a couple practice swings. Okay, I got this. Did you see how the ball hit that tiger? Hyper accurate metal club made out of birch and oak. Perfection. Buy it at your local deli mart now.